And we are live. Welcome to another session of Building the Bull. This session is brought to you by the Skylabs and Better Ecosystem. My name is Ryan, and I'm so glad to be your host today. Hey, this marks the last live session of 2022. So, hey, welcome. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and drop a hi, hello. Let everybody know who's here. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday, no matter where you are in the world. We've paid out over thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency to our community members who post projects on our CrowdX Calendar. We've paid out close to, or a little bit over, $4.1 million in our native Vetter token. We've paid out over 37 BNB as part of something called the Hot Streak Rewards. And as you're going to learn what the Vetter ecosystem is all about, it's all about crowdsourcing. It's all about people working together, sharing ideas, and everybody does a little bit, and everybody wins. And that's the beauty of this model and the beauty of this ecosystem. And today I'm going to show you how simple it is to post projects on the CrowdX Calendar and how to get paid when you do a great job. Hey, welcome Cindy, welcome Roman. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Last year, 16,000 crypto projects launched. And how would you like to get paid to share quality crypto pre-sales on our CrowdX Calendar? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, we work together to find projects that have potential, while at the same time bring up warnings and red flags about projects that may bring concern. Now, in the year 2022, like I said, we paid out millions of tokens worth of Vetter token and thousands of dollars worth of BNB and cryptocurrency to our community. And our community actually posted, I believe it's close to like 4,000 projects were posted on our CrowdX Calendar, which is pretty phenomenal. Pretty phenomenal. Now, for the last close to, 9 months now, we've recorded around 100 plus live sessions just like this, where we support the community navigating the CrowdX Calendar, finding 2x, 100x gems, and like I said, paying out $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency in the process. And we host 2 live sessions like this every single week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hey, welcome, Meng. Hope you're doing well, brother. So with that, today's topic, this is how we break it down. If you're brand new, welcome. Welcome again if you're brand spanking new. You can go ahead and visit vetter.ai. That's vetter.ai. And there you can learn about Skylabs and learn about CrowdX and what we're doing in the space and how we're changing the game through innovation, but also through crowdsourcing. And one of the things that we normally do in these sessions, we have the beginning part is typically some type of mindset or some type of specific topic that we have in mind, and whether that's trending news, trending updates, things like that, or mindset going into that, we cover that first. And what we're going to talk about today is literally trends. The idea of trends. And, if you saw the title of today's session, how to be ahead of the, 2023 crypto trends. Hey, Luis, hope you're having a great day. How to be ahead of the 2023 crypto trends. And I think one of the best ways to do that is by being involved in an active community that's all geared around crowdsourcing. Here's what I mean by this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I've got a couple websites up and running. I just wanted to kind of give you an update. If you've been following along the last handful of weeks, we've talked about these projects before, but I want to just kind of give you an insight into what I'm seeing in the market, and maybe that aligns with what you're seeing. But here's the beautiful thing. If it doesn't align with what you're seeing, this is a great opportunity to share what you're finding, and that way we can learn together. That's the beauty of crowdsourcing. So, hey, welcome, Ricardo. Hope you're doing well, my brother. So, we're going to talk about CoinOfficial. CoinOfficial, we brought this up a few weeks back. CoinOfficial was the first project to go on GemPad that had like a really high tier. This was a successful team, prior success. There was a lot of good stuff going on with this project, a lot of partnerships, a lot of hype and excitement. Okay, they ended up doing a fair launch, which statistically, based on the numbers that we have, in the last handful of months, statistically speaking, fair launch is not necessarily the way to go. As a community, we realized that there was a 17% chance that within the first 24 hours you're going to get a 2x if you got into a fair launch. Fair launch via Pink Cell or fair launch via GemPad, and there was a 15% chance you would get a 2x or more in the 7-day time frame. And there was a 96% chance that the project would be under the pre-sale price 30 days after launch. Meaning most projects that do a fair launch, they don't last long term. That's really good information to have. And again, that is the key and beauty of crowdsourcing and sharing that information, because it can support all of us in sharing those details. So circling back to Coinofficial, it was a successful team, had previous success with other projects, a lot of networking going on, a lot of hype and excitement. They were getting direct consulting from GymPad. GymPad said, hey, do a fair launch. They did a fair launch and they raised 135 BNB, and there was 126 contributors. This was not what their expectation was. Okay, they were not excited about this. They were looking to raise a lot more. And the reason that they went the fair launch route is because the market is kind of struggling right now. And GymPad recommended going the fair launch route because of that. But for whatever reason, they only raised 135 BNB. And then they're getting ready to launch and people are excited. And then they throw a curveball at the community and say, hey, guess what? We're not going to launch. We're actually going to cancel the GymPad fair launch. You're going to get your refund, and we're going to launch on PinkCell instead. They partnered with PinkCell. Okay, PinkCell maybe offered them some type of big deal. Hey, we can fill it up. I know we can make more money. Blah, blah, blah. Who knows what happened? Okay, but we do know what happened on the back end, the front end rather. We do know what the result was. They did a fair launch with PinkCell, and they raised 69 BNB. Okay, now over here, 135 BNB wasn't not enough. And now they raised 69 BNB. Okay, 94 contributors, 69 BNB. Okay. They ended up launching. They ended up talking to the private sell holders and said, hey, look, we got to buy back your tokens because you got it at a totally different price than what we're actually going to launch at. And that's what they did. Now, the project is actually not doing too bad. Okay, it's actually not doing too bad. But it, the high was basically, 80% gain. That's a 1.8x. Okay, 1.8x. Not phenomenal. Given the fact of the experience of the team, given the fact of the utility, given the fact that all these things, all these boxes were checked, I wouldn't necessarily call that a smashing success. Now, it wasn't a massive failure, but it was not a smashing success. Look at another project called Nano Network. This is a project that had launched in October. They had done really well with the V1. Okay, they had some massive gains. They saw an opportunity to partner with Novation and Vault Finance and do some big projects and some big collaborative efforts there. And they went to go launch their pre-sale, and they ended up running it for a much longer period than they anticipated. They had 21 contributors, and they raised 35 BNB. Okay, 21 contributors, 35 BNB. Let's go over and look at their Telegram. And let's see here, Nano Network right here. So we got 2,100 members. 2,100 members in their network. And we take a look at Vault Finance and look at their network and see how many are in their network. And let's see here. We got... they changed some stuff up on me. I can't tell now. Oh, there we go. 4,900 members. All right, so you got two networks combined, and they only had 21 people contribute. 21 people contribute. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy. And you got to ask, well, what's going on? Why? Okay. You mix that with another project that was launching off of Novation, which was partnered with Vault Finance. I know this group did the AMA tour. They checked all the boxes. They did marketing, 36 AMAs. They had partnerships. They had relationships. And they had 390 whitelist spots for the pre-sale, 390, and they didn't fill it. And they actually did this campaign where, they're talking to friends and family and people are rallying together, finding holders, and they only raised 351 BNB, didn't hit the soft cap, and it was by 166 contributors. Okay, 166 contributors. So 166 people, they had whitelist for 390, but only 166 showed up, and I would say 30 of those, maybe 40 of those, were friends, family, neighbors, and grandmas. What is going on in the space? What's going on here? Okay, we look at another project. We talked about this project last week. FrogPay looked like a pretty solid project. It had checked a lot of boxes. There's some pretty cool stuff, some pretty cool tech being developed. And in their private sell fund, the special sell fund, they raised 1,100 BUSD. from 6 contributors. This project looked like it had a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff going on. Okay, Bomberzilla, I'm going to throw it in the same category just because the website's pretty solid. The game is playable. There's some stuff that's been developed, and on their sale, they raised 2.1 BNB from 12 participants. What do all these have in common? Okay, all these have in common are there are some utility here. There is a pre-sale that's not working out like they expect. And why is that happening? Why is it happening? I believe this is a trend. I don't know directly what the cause is. Is it the fact that the crypto market's down? Is it the fact that we're actually now legitimately in a bear market and people are more reserved and they don't want to, play the game right now? Is it because of FTX? Is it because of the holiday season? Is it because of the end of the year? Who knows? Who knows? But when you look at this, when you look at a handful of projects backed by some solid networks, backed by some actual tech that's been developed, and they're having a hard time filling the pre-sale, and projects that fill a pre-sale are full of hype and baseless promises, you got to say, what's the current state of the market? I mean, really? Okay, so what about projects that are actually launching? Let's go ahead and take a look. This is our CrowdX DApp. This is our Vetter platform. You can check this out at vetterplatform.app. That's vetterplatform.app. Hey, Carl, welcome. Check that out, and this is where we're going to spend the rest of our time today. But you can go down here, and you can click Gains right here, and then click this right here. It's going to take you to our Gains and Tips section, but right here you're going to see Recent Val. Okay? And what this is, we record all the gains that happen on our platform. So we audit the projects, we make sure that it's valid and legit, and we record those. Okay? And so you'll see the recent Val. Val stands for Vetter Audited Highest Low. You may be familiar with the all-time high, the ATH. That's where a chart will peak up right here, and people will claim, oh, we did a 10x, we did a 5x. Okay? We did all these different things. Okay? And so one of those things that makes this challenging, the all-time high, is, well, we don't know how long it lasted. A project could brag and boast about having a 10x, but if it was only there for a couple seconds or minutes, that means that there wasn't a lot of time where people could have actually sold. And so the Vetter Audited Highest Low, this means that the lowest point, you had at least an hour to sell at a certain profit level. Okay? And that's what this is right here. So for example, Dogecoin, the all-time high was 2.7x. The Val is 2.5x, meaning you had an hour to be able to sell at a 2.5x. And so I want to go through some of these just to show you some of the numbers in December so far. So we looked at a handful of projects that didn't do all that great. Okay, so let's look at some projects that actually filled their pre-sale and actually ended up launching. Okay, we got Doge Trend. We have a 2.5x on the Val. Mango Man Intelligent. We have a 1.4x. Coin Official 1.5, Souls Meta 1.2, Monoverse nothing, Tora Inu nothing, Dex basically you got a 1% profit, IMPT you got a 1.08% profit, Coinology nothing, Hubin nothing, Rabbit basically nothing. That's a 5%. That's a 6%. That's a 1%. This is a 1.2x, nothing, 1.6, 1%. Here's a 2.7, nothing, 9%, 1.3, nothing, 1.5, nothing, 1.4, nothing. Or sorry, I'm getting in. I was getting in a flow there. Here we have a 5x. Okay, 5x. Here we have a 3x. Here's a 7%. Okay, we're getting into November times. Okay, I wanted to show this because a lot of the projects that are actually launching right now are not actually doing that well. Okay? And why is this important to know? I'm all about data and numbers. Okay? I'm all about data and numbers. And when I look at some of our top scouts and they're launching projects that are not doing good right now, it's like that's an indication, that another indication to me that something is happening in the market. Something is happening in the space. That, again, maybe people are actually tired and fatigued, crypto fatigue. Who knows? Who knows? But I think it's worth bringing up, worth discussing, because we can all have our perspective, our experience, our vantage point, and then come together and realize, okay, this is what This is what Roman's seeing. This is what Luis is seeing. This is what Meng is seeing. This is what Ricardo is seeing. This is what Carl is seeing. And it can support us all in having a much clearer picture. I mean, in this moment, we could actually realize, well, actually, the BSC is struggling, but the Ethereum network is cranking. It's rocking and rolling right now. And that's the beauty of these types of conversations, sharing these ideas, and those things like that. Meng says, Coin Official is working hard to get off the ground, improve the portal every day. So they're still working. Okay, Coin Official is working. Nano, Master Key, FrogPay don't seem to be doing anything after the pre-sale failed. They could be, but yeah. So it seems like they're doing some things behind the scenes. They kind of pulled back. So I saw the same thing, Meng. I saw, with Master Key Finance, the community is still there chatting it up, but there hasn't really been, hey, what's coming, what's next or anything like that. And then Meng says proper fair launches on the Ethereum are doing insane, but they're almost impossible to get on the calendar. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we've also noticed. So this trend right here, so this is a pink sell fair launch, and this is where you can still buy your tokens like a pre-sale. Okay, even though it's listed as a fair launch, it's not really a fair launch. Okay, it's not really a fair launch because you actually bought in advance. So the moment the chart goes live, you're already in. You don't have to buy. Now, a traditional fair launch, the way that works is, everyone is waiting in Telegram with anticipation and excitement, and they're playing Pump Up the Jam. and then they drop the contract, and everybody's scrambling to get in because you want to get in as soon as you can, and then price just all of a sudden just starts taking off, and as long as there's no shenanigans. I've seen some times where there's already a candle formed before they even announce the pre-sale. Announce the contract. And so, I don't like shenanigans. I don't like when teams do that. Have a clean, honest, fair launch. But those are crushing it right now. And so that's the beauty of sharing these types of ideas, sharing these concepts, because we all have different perspectives. We're all looking at different things. And when we share these ideas, it helps us all grow. It helps us all get better. And let's face it, there's no way that one of us can have a great life and focus on everything there is to focus on in the crypto space. You know what I mean? It moves so fast, it moves so quick, and how can you stay on top of everything and manage all of the projects and keep up to date on all the projects and listen to all the AMAs? I mean, that's a full-time job in and of itself. And the beauty of what we have in our ecosystem is a crowdsourced model where we all can share wherever we're at. Wherever we're at. So I'm on the auditing side, so I see some things behind the scenes, and I can bring those numbers to the community. And other people are in other groups. Some people are in Reddit, some people are in Telegram, some people are in Discord, some people are following YouTube influencers. And all of these different people they have their perspective on what they're seeing. But when we share all the data, we can start seeing patterns emerge. Okay? Roman, I think that's awesome, brother. Roman, before we started doing YouTube live sessions like this, we were doing sessions on Zoom, and I would play Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons for the first 4 minutes before the top of the hour. So that was always my pump up song before we hopped on live. But yeah, no, every time I know some people very much dislike the song. Pump It Up, Pump Up the Jam. There's Pump Up the Jam and there's Pump It Up. And both of those songs are very much disliked by a lot of people. But then at the same time, it's almost it's kind of like a Christmas song. Christmas comes around and you got to play some of those songs. And, when there's a launch happening, some of those songs you're pretty appropriate. All right. So with that, we recently had talked about, what are some of the things that scouts are looking for in this market because of the things that are going on. And Metallaride, if you don't know, awesome supporter of the community, always willing to give ideas and insights. And one of the things that he witnessed is right now, hype is so important. Hype is so important. And, and I think that there's a bit of a challenge there. I think that's also probably why meme tokens always continue to do good no matter what. There's just this level of like degen hypeness. It's just wild. And maybe people don't get as hyped about utility projects as they do about meme tokens. But, it is one of those things. So Metallurite says hype, utility 100% built out, meaning they're not relying on the success of the launch to then fund the utility being developed, meaning that the moment the launch's utility is ready to go, there's a reason for people to hold and continue to hold and use the platform, use the utility. Devs with a proven track record. Okay, they've had experience of having a launch, they have experience of building the community, they have experience in the space. Okay, number 4, Ethereum network, and then Binance. Ethereum takes a priority. And last, quality website, white paper, audit, docs team. They are mostly doxed if they've done a successful project, but not all are doxed. And so those are the 5 things that Metalluride's been, noticing, and some of the things that he's looking for as he's scouting projects. Now, if you're not a member of our Discord, I do invite you to check out the link below, because that's where some great conversations are happening in the space, in our community. And one of the things I brought up today, and we're going to just briefly talk about this, I've been noticing a few trends lately. And this is, again, we're still on the topic of trends. Trends is where we are in the market, what's working, what's not working. How does this impact our community? How does this impact you as a scout to know what's working, what to expect? For example, over the summertime, fair launches, garbage. Maybe now fair launches could be the saving grace for some projects. So things could be seasonal. Things could be based on the time of season in the market. Are we experiencing a winter right now? And maybe fair launches are the saving grace for projects? Who knows? More data will figure it out. But right now, we've been covering a handful of projects. We covered IMPT. We covered Fight Out. We covered Metropoly. And all 3 of these projects have one thing in common, and they're running their pre-sale from their website. Now, you say, Ryan, that's not a big deal. That's nothing new. You're right. It's not anything new. There were projects that were doing this, way back when, and, doing it months ago, doing it in the springtime, doing it a year ago. And back then, it was not really super common, but the recommendation is always like, well, make sure you use a new wallet because, it could get compromised. And that was basically the only conversation around it. You got to have a level of trust. But now, it's becoming to be more popular from my perspective. I mean, I was scouting a project the other day. They're running a pre-sale from the website. And so here's the things that I'm noticing that are happening with these projects. Okay, the pre-sale and private sale is hosted from their own site. It's a multi-stage private sale and pre-sale, meaning not just one and done. Okay, not just like Pink Cell over here, or not just like Gempad where they raise the funds and they're done. No, it's like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Okay, they're raising lots of money. Okay, they're raising millions of dollars. That obviously is going to impact the market cap. Let's take a look at this. When I say they're raising millions of dollars, let's go ahead and take a look at IMPT. Okay, we talked about this project, I don't know, maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't remember. Okay, but let's look at the chart. They're sitting at a 39 million market cap. That's huge. That's juicy. I mean, that's big. Okay, these big raises. All right, these big raises. Okay, that obviously is going to impact how quickly token holders are going to profit. And you as a scout, it's going to impact whether the project is going to be profitable or not. Okay, and so massive raise, I would say that's pretty successful. Okay, but look at the chart. Some people would argue that's not really a successful looking chart. Okay, these are things to consider, as you're scouting. Okay, but they did the same thing. Another thing, the pre-sale lasts for months. We're talking 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Long time. A really long time. And there's vesting for participants, whether it's different vesting schedules for the private sale, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, or what have you. Okay, there's bonuses involved. Some are offering 25% bonus for the private, 20% for the first round, 15% for the second round. Okay, but you're vested. And the vesting may be for months. It may be a percentage over a couple months. They're all different. Another thing I've noticed, pre-confirmed CEX listings and pre-confirmed CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko listings. Before they've even launched, before they've even raised the funds, they've already solidified these listings saying, hey, we just got approved. We're going to be on CoinGecko as soon as we launch. So they're going to be launching at potential multi-million market caps. They're going to be hitting the CEXs at the same time. They're going to be listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap at the same time. All those things. And it feels very much like an IDO. It's a great looking project, long-term vision. There's a lot of boxes that are checked. They got some audits. They spent some money on some KYC. They're doing the things. Okay, it feels very much like an IDO. But when I look at this stuff, it feels more so like, when I put all that together, it feels more like a private sell. When you think about a private sell, you believe in the vision, you believe in the mission, you believe in the community, you're there for the long run. Okay, you don't really care about what price is going to do day one or the week later or a month later, but you given the state and given the facts of having the multiple pre-sales, the long vesting schedule, the long-term raises, the project may not even launch for 4 months from now. And so, again, it feels very much like a private sell. And so I'm just curious, as you're hearing me talk through that stuff, go ahead and drop your comments in chat. What do you think? What do you feel? How do you feel about these things? And, Roman, he dropped his thoughts. He said he's been seeing the same thing, same features, but didn't realize it was becoming a trend. And, I don't know what constitutes a trend necessarily, Roman. I'm starting to see patterns emerge. The same thing happened over the summer when I started seeing or the springtime when I started seeing the fair launch. More and more projects were running the fair launch. And so, I like to just make a point of bringing something up in the beginning so it kind of can shift our focus so we all can pay attention to it. I don't know what's considered a trend, but here lately, the projects we're talking about, they have that. So Roman says he agrees it also looks like a long-term play. Now he said, Will and Garrett, leaders of the podcast team at Blockworks, made an interesting 2023 prediction. Controlling the relationship with the end user is key to distribution. Guess who is in the best position to direct customer attention? Wallets. The L1 wars will be replaced by the wallet wars. In the last AMA, FideOut CEO highlighted FideOut's own website and wallet as pros he's excited about, but didn't elaborate on why. Roman said, I can see how controlling the narrative in these ways might make a project less reliant on exchanges and AMM and might boost investor confidence, but I'm wondering if it makes a project more or less susceptible to DDoS attacks and such. And we got absolutely hammered. We got absolutely hammered when we were launching with DDoS attacks. I mean, it was brutal. It was brutal. So, that is a valid point. That is a valid point. If they're not in a situation where they're ready for that, so it's definitely interesting. Roman in chat says, trend to me, more and more projects are doing the same thing. Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, this was 3 projects that I know of that we recently talked about, and I scouted a 4th one, so it's 4 within the last week and a half. I'm like, it's on my radar now. It's on my radar. Meng says maybe these projects with huge long-term raises have been VC funded a year ago, but VC has dried up. That's a good point. I wonder, because that's another question that we've been asking, Meng. We see these Telegram groups, and we're like, well, where is everybody? Like Metropoly, for example, which, by the way, if you guys are in Metropoly Telegram, okay, if you guys are in Metropoly Telegram, ask them, one, if I was removed or blocked for some reason. The other day, I was in Metropoly Telegram listening to an AMA, and then all of a sudden, I got kicked out, and the chat was closed. It was gone. So if you guys could do me a solid, and if you're in the Metropoly Telegram group where you can find that, you can find it on the link here from the calendar. Let me send it to you right now. Test it out and see if the link is still valid for me, because I would really like to be in that group. I don't know why I got kicked. I was just sitting there listening patiently and politely to an AMA. So if you guys could check that out for me, that'd be fantastic. But Metropoly, this Telegram group's a great example of that. They've already had the private sale raise, But where'd the money come from? Because it surely didn't come from the Telegram group, because the Telegram group is relatively small. So where's this money coming from? So Meng, to your point, maybe it's coming up for venture capitalists. That money is coming from outside the crypto space, which I think is a pretty solid model. I think it's a pretty good idea. But again, I think the more questions we start asking, we can start seeing, putting some of these pieces together to figure out where is all this money coming from. And because it just doesn't look like it's coming from the communities they've created, at least the communities we have access to, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to plant that seed. So feel free, if you're not part of our Discord, go ahead and jump in to Discord. You can find the link in the description. And join in the conversation. Share your thoughts of what you're seeing. Are they pros and cons? Meng, I know that you brought it up. Oh, Telegram doesn't work. Wow. Like, I wonder if they accidentally deleted their Telegram or something. I thought it was just me that got... They were literally in the middle of the AMA. She even addressed me. It wasn't like a recording. She even said, "Oh, hello, Ryan." And someone else chimed in, and there was like 5 of us in there, and she starts talking about Metropoly, and then all of a sudden it was gone. I thought I got kicked because I didn't say hello to somebody. Well, maybe... Well, that makes me feel better that we all got kicked. Oh, Roman, you're in the Metropoly right now. Can you drop the in Discord? Can you drop the Metropoly link for us, Telegram link, or shoot it to me in Messenger or something like that? And then you could ask him, say, "Hey, my good friends Meng and Ryan got kicked, and they would love to be back." So with that, oh, Meng, you had said something last week that I thought was pretty insightful as it relates to this model. Does this slow down? This is going to attract a certain kind of person, okay, to these projects. It's going to attract a person who has patience and vision, okay? And do you think that has the potential to weed out a lot of the people who are in and out, and jumping ship as soon as possible, and maybe even fudding and complaining and things like that? Is that possible to do? When you have it structured this way. Yeah, Meng says he tried it from the website too. It didn't work either, but couldn't have gotten kicked. Never been in there. That's interesting. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I think that I wonder if this just has ability to isolate certain types of crypto players who are not. They're not long term. They're very short-minded, short-sighted, and maybe it allows them to find a group of people who are committed to the long-term process. Meng, you had mentioned something like that, and I think there's value in that. I think that's a possibility. The flip side is, if you're looking at this project and you contribute, your money's locked up for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Oh man, that's a long time. Which again, some people that may not matter. So it was just, I think it's definitely worth, talking about and continuing a conversation around, VC money, continuing the conversation around who's getting access and things like that. Yeah, Meng says he was in the Tamadoge pre-sale that way, and they certainly did outweed people of the Win launch. So some win launch people got sucked into Tamadoge, huh? Oh, that's funny. So again, I did want to give a shout out to Meng and Roman. Like I said in the beginning of this call, our whole community is built around crowdsourcing, and last week we looked at a project called MetaGem. No. We looked at a project called FitBurn. Last session, we looked at a project called Fight Out. And, Roman put up this great post. He was just sharing his thoughts, his ideas, some things. And Meng and Roman started going back and forth with different questions, different ideas. I chimed into some stuff with the CEO. And Metallaride chimed in with some thoughts and insights. And here's this post. Here's the beauty of this of this community, guys. Okay, here's the beauty of this community. The 4 of us knuckleheads are over there looking at different things just throughout the day, adding our 2 cents. Meng goes on this assault of Q&A in their Telegram group, reports back the information to us, and being a member of this community, you have access to this conversation. Okay, this is gold. This is absolute gold. You have access to this conversation as a means of learning what great questions to ask, learning how to look at different projects, learning how to ask questions, and even looking how Mang or Roman interacts in the Telegram, looking how Metallerite interacts in the Telegram. It supports you in building your brand and network as a scout and introducing yourself to those types of communities. Also, it allows people to, instead of Roman to exclusively do all this research on his own, or Mang to do all this research on his own, or me or Metallerite or anybody, we all just did a little bit of work, and now we all can benefit from that. And guys, here's my vision. Here's my vision. Imagine that there's another thread happening, and it's talking about ABC project, and you got a couple scouts in there digging, researching, finding what they're looking for, getting questions answered, asking tough questions. And then you have the benefit of strolling over in here and saying, oh, let me take a look at this. And you get caught up right away, and it supports you in your own research and learning. Same thing with, imagine multiple conversations like this happening. I'm not saying you're being the one that's driving the conversation, but I'm saying that maybe you contributed in one, but you get the benefit of the other 5 that are going on. Roman, Mang, and I were kind of wondering, hey, was there something suspect with the CEO? Instead of you doing all that due diligence and you trying to figure it out and all the research yourself, you can leverage the questions that we were asking each other and the research that we did. It is a beautiful thing. Like the crowdsource model, when it's applied correctly and utilized correctly, it's an absolute game changer. Absolute game changer. And so, this is so valuable. So I just want to acknowledge Mang, Roman, you guys are absolutely crushing it. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your insights. And every day, I'm learning, I'm getting challenged, and I hope you are as well, because that's how we get better together. No one being afraid to ask a question or point out something or point out a perspective or opinion. It's all valid. It's all valid. And I love it so much. So again, shout out to you guys for what you're creating and what we're all creating together. I mean, this is the CrowdX Calendar is an absolute goldmine. I don't know if you guys realize this. We paid out $4 million. Let me go over here to the platform here. We paid out $4 million Vetter to scouts, top paid scouts. You take all the payments we've ever paid out to scouts. We've paid out, well, probably more than that because it stops here. But what's recorded here is over 4 million Vetter. 4.1 million Vetter have gone out to scouts. We've paid more out in Vetter via Hot Streak than we have from posting projects. It is incredibly lucrative for scouts. And what's happening now with those who are plugging into these sessions, those who are utilizing Discord, I say it over and over again, we're literally building the bull market. Like this right here is us sharpening the axes, laying foundations, getting everything ready to go, building out the ecosystem. And when people start hopping in our Discord and seeing the level of conversations and the depth of conversations that are happening, it's phenomenal. Mang, when people realize that the questions that you're asking are actually quality, that's a game changer. The mods in the in the Telegram group were impressed based on the questions that you're asking, because it's more than when launch. So I just want to acknowledge you guys. Thank you for your contribution. And every day, every week, we're getting better and better, and we're creating momentum. And I'm just so excited and thankful. Luis says, I agree, Roman and Mang have been very active and beneficial. So glad to see these guys engaging. Great point. Absolutely. There's a handful of people who notice, and there's people who appreciate that. And You've heard me say it. It's not a matter of if we make it as an ecosystem. It's simply a matter of when we make it. And when we continue to show up like we're showing up right now, we will start attracting people that are similar to us. And then it starts growing beyond what we're doing. You know, there's conversations happening in other chats that we're not driving. Like, that's where we're headed. I'm so excited. And I'm so thankful, that you guys are here and that you're here contributing. Okay, so Roman says, "I appreciate my brothers, learning a ton, having a lot of fun." Absolutely. Meng says, "Right back at you. Love us pushing each other." Roman, so glad to hear you found our comments beneficial. That's absolutely, yeah. So Roman's thanking Luis. Okay, win make. Yeah. Yeah, win combo, win crowdsourcing. That's the answer. Oh, good stuff, guys. So with that, we're gonna jump into the platform. I don't have any projects just on my list. If anybody wants to bring up a project to take a look at, we absolutely can. I can just pick a random one, but if you have one specifically you want to take a look at, we can absolutely do that. Haven't looked at what January is starting to look like yet. So one thing that I would start with, all right, so we're going to take a look at the circle. Okay, the circle. And if you missed it, a session on Tuesday, our two top scouts as far as success ratios would be, one is Gordon Gecko and two is PSC 100X. Both of them are very consistent. They typically do utility type projects. Okay, and their success rate is above 70%. For all the hot streak projects that we look at, and they do a phenomenal job. So we're going to take a look at the circle, okay? And again, this is not about what we're doing here is not about financial advice, okay? I mean, this is literally just a process for us to search and sift through projects together as a community. And this live session is just merely a step in that process. I will say crypto is risky. In no way, shape, or form am I telling you to invest in any type of cryptocurrency project. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Please do your own research. I'm going to share my thought process while looking into projects, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. It's all 100% subjective. The purpose of this is simply to support you in what to look for when you scout projects and when you're scouting your own projects. And the things that I see, you may see differently, and that is 100% okay. Never, ever, ever am I critiquing negatively a scout nor a project, just simply speaking my mind, again, from my own personal opinion. So with that, let's jump in the circle. First thing, let me actually close out all these tabs. I don't know about you guys, but I get to go on tabs, and I get tabs on top of tabs on top of tabs. So we got a nice clean slate now. Let's go ahead and look at Circle. Circle.1. Oh. Well, this will be a quick... Oh my. Okay. Someone else test out Circle.1 and tell me if you see the same thing that I see. So this is another trend that I've seen lately. This would be maybe the third or fourth project that website is under construction, and instead of directing Circle.1 to a landing page or a 404 page or some type of notification indication that, hey, you're at the right spot, even a one-pager. I mean, they could even have a sales page or an opt-in form for all I care, just something. But when I go to a website and I get an error that it doesn't work, or it's something like this, it's not a great first impression. Okay, so someone else try out Circle.1 and let me know if you're seeing the same thing, because we don't have anything to look at on the website, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and check out Telegram. All right. So is this the portal or is this... Okay, this is a portal. Now, if you're new to this, if you're new to this, you click. So this is a portal, I believe. I think it's a portal. Yeah. Okay. So let me go back. If you ever hop in a Telegram group and there's just one message like this and it says join channel, when you join, nothing's going to happen. This is not actually the channel. They have a portal, and it's almost like a loading area. Okay, it can support bots from like spamming and things like that. I'm actually going to leave it because I don't need to be in here. Leave channel, leave. I'll go back to it here in a minute. View in Telegram. There we go. So instead of clicking join, right here you just click start. It opens up a new section, and then you click start right here. And then it's going to give you the prompts. It says, okay, you just need to verify that you're a human. Okay, you click verify. It's going to open up this Guardian, or it's going to open up something. They're all different. There's different ones and things like that. Okay, click I'm human. And now we get to pick a hedgehog. Okay, so you get to click all the little hedgehogs. I made sure I was reading that I did it right. Please click each image contain a hedgehog on rocks. Oh, he's on sand. I better not click him. Oh, sand. Oh, good thing I read that. There we go. There's the hedgehogs on rocks. Hedgehog on rocks. Oh, they're getting sneaky. They're getting sneaky. I almost didn't make it in. All right, so we have 665 members. So we joined the group. So now we're in the Telegram group. And there's 666. We need one more member to join. I was the 666 member. We need to change that number quick. So 666 members, and there are 9 pinned messages. First pinned message was December 11th. Welcome to Circle Premium Launchpad. This is the main group for Circle Launchpad. Also stay tuned for up-and-coming launches via the pad. From January 23rd, presentation for new in-house project launches will take place on Snoop Dogg's new app, Schiller. So it sounds like they're connected with those Snoop. I just had the urge, all of a sudden. I had the urge to be like, Snoop. Anyway, so we got some pretty decent engagement on these posts here. For 600 members, there's some solid engagement on these posts here, which is nice. So we got a major partnership with Snoop. We have a Twitter account. We'll look at that in a minute. We prepare for migration from Supercats. What? As we prepare for the migration from Supercats. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember this. Supercats. Let's take a trip down memory lane, guys. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Who remembers Supercats? Anybody remember Supercats from the summertime? This is one of the beautiful things. This is one of the beautiful things about our community and network right here. And this is such a powerful lesson. I told you previously that Gordon Gekko is a phenomenal scout, and this was a really good lesson learned. This is the Supercats website. All right, this is a Supercats website. This is not a joke. This is real. Okay, this is their website. And I asked us, as you know, I was doing the call, and I was like, "Hey guys, what do you think? Do you want to look at another project?" And it was unanimous. We all ditched this project based on this website. I mean, understandably so. Okay, understandably so. So that happened, and then here's what happened with the chart. Oh wait, that's not right. Let me go back to chart. There we go. Let me take the contract. Let me go to Deck Screener. I like how Deck Screener works so much better than Dex Tools. Oh, Supercats. Supercat. All right, so Supercat, what was it? Was it a pre-sale? So here's what we're talking about, Mang. Ethereum fair launch. All right, had a solid blast off there. Within the first 24 hours, it was something ridiculous, almost like a 7x. Ended up peaking out at like a 10x. Okay, and we all judged it based on this right here. But guys, this is so important about the quality of the scouts in our network and our ecosystem. Okay, this is the. It's so great when as a scout, when you find your method and your mode of operation, whether it's where you get your projects, whether it's how you find them, whether it's certain boxes that are checked, for example, like 100% StarTech audit, 100% doxed, 100% KYC, whatever your secret sauce is, that's it, that's your claim to fame. Okay? It doesn't mean that all your projects are going to be profitable. No one's at 100%. Okay? What that means, though, is you're stacking probabilities in your favor. You found something that works for you, and that's your recipe. And you just keep going back to that every single time. You figure that out through a volume of launches. Gordon Gekko has done that. His track record proves, that, he's found something that works well. Okay? He's found something that works well. And there's value in that. Okay? What am I saying? I'm saying that he knew, we had a conversation. He knew the owners of this project. There's trust and relationship built there. Okay? Another part of his checklist and strategies, he posted the project on the calendar. The first message I see over here is talking about how as we prepare for migration from Supercats to Circle, we need everyone to send across their tokens. That, to me, is one of the things we talk about all the time. One of the things that Metalluride brought up. Devs with a proven track record, teams with a proven track record, scouts with a proven track record. These things weigh heavily. So whatever, not ideal things that could be happening. I mean, now it kind of makes sense. If this is the website, they're migrating from something like this. Okay, hey, you know what? It kind of makes sense now. But there's value in that. I say all that to say that there's massive value in the track record, relationships, and reputation of our scouts. Massive, massive value. Metalluride did something similar. Okay, Metalluride did something similar a few months back. With BUSD rewards or something. I don't remember what it was. But something similar. He knew the team. He knew the project team. He knew the project owners. And that right there is super important, and it goes a very long way. Okay, a very long way. Roman says, didn't even know what a presale was this summer. Grown so much. Awesome, brother. That's fantastic. Meng, it's impossible to buy all the way down to the launches, the calculate speed. Yeah, definitely. So that is so that's one of the things that, we don't have a lot of control over when we're recording the gains. What Meng is saying is, there's no way. Let me look at the 1 minute. We can have a better idea of what that looked like. So now this one actually looks relatively fair. We don't know when the contract was given out for this project. Okay? I've seen sometimes, this is a great example. Let me find the arrow. This is a great example of what I was trying to say earlier. So this is my arrow. Let's make it bigger. Maybe I can't make it bigger. Oh well. Cancel. Let me make it yellow so we can see it. All right, so we don't know when the contract was announced or given out for this project. We don't know. Okay, it could have been legit. It could have been right there. It's off to the races. It's likely not until here because there's massive volume right there, I would suspect. Unless, I would guess it's somewhere in here. That's the biggest candle, 19,000, 19K. So I would guess the contract was probably given out there. And then it's a mad dash to see whoever can get in first, and all the volume starts coming in and flowing in and things like that. So we take the gains from we don't know, so we just have a standard approach as far as on the auditing side. So we just take the gains from the listing price. But what Meng is saying, from a realistic perspective, if you're participating in this project, you would get to take it closer from up to here, which does change it drastically. Now we're looking at like a 5x, okay, almost a 6x. Yeah, there's like crazy stuff that goes on during that stuff. But like, even, people are waiting, like, let's wait for, people often talk about, let's wait for a dip. What's a dip? I brought that question up before. What's a dip? That's only 37% down. Is that considered a dip? Yeah, maybe. Okay. But even from there up, you're looking at like a 2.8x. Okay. So it does drastically change the gains. All right, so let's go back over to Telegram. All right, so we know that Gordon Gekko scouted the project. We know that this project already has a track record of success. This is not their first rodeo. They've done multiple ones. So as you're a scout, if you're finding something like that, that's incredibly valuable. Incredibly valuable. Another thing that I just thought of this, something that you may want to try on. As a scout, you have access to these numbers right here. And you can scroll down and you can start seeing, if you find a project that did like really well, you could like research, well, okay, what is this project? I mean, you can go back 3 months and say, okay, well, here's a project that did 16x for all-time high, 8x. And you could go back and research that and be like, okay, what are they up to now? Are they planning on doing another project? That is a thing that could happen. That's a thing that could support you. Okay, now the project may be dead and gone. Who knows? Who knows what you're going to find? But that could be a process that actually supports you in finding projects and stacking probabilities in your favor. I mean, we have numbers that go back, 10 months. Okay? And so that's always, helpful to look at track record, to look at history, historical data. All right, back on track here. All right, so I think Meng said that. Wait, I'm gonna look up. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I want to get out of that. There we go. I want to look up this. I'm gonna look up website. Website is under development. Oh, hey, there's our friend Gordon Gekko. Let's see what's see what Gordon Gekko. Oh, looks like that was his only question. All right, let's see if we have a white paper. Oh, whoops! I need to close that. Close that. White paper. Well, that's interesting. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think asking for a white paper is a pretty legit question. So the answer that he got was web is under construction. Well, white paper has nothing to do with the website. I mean, come on. So it looks like the website and white paper will all be ready before launch, and January 3rd. What is the date that they're talking about? Launch will be soon. There will be a fair launch with great utility of Launchpad on Ethereum chain. Launched on January 3rd. That's like 4 or 5 days away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days away. So in 5 days, the website's going to be complete and there's going to be a white paper. What about an audit? Important update. Starting market cap will be approximately 1 million. The initial liquidity will be in the range of 130 to 150,000. CTCO and Crocboy will be airdropped automatically. However, to get airdrop from Supercats, you will need to send the tokens to the address. So again, there's going to be an airdrop. So they're migrating, they're switching from this to the other. So that's something, as a scout to recognize, and that's something you'd want to report on. If you don't send the tokens, you'll not receive any Circle airdrop. The Launchpad itself is ready, and testing is ongoing, along with content writing and documentation. Most importantly, the audit has been applied for the Launchpad, and the process is ongoing. Okay, it looks like we don't have an audit yet. That was almost 2 weeks ago. What about KYC? Nothing. Doxed? Nothing. Oh, okay. So okay. So right now, no website, no audit, no KYC, no white paper, no doxing. What about AMA? Okay, no AMAs. All right, let's go back to the pinned messages. Okay, so this happened on December 18th. Dear members, we want to inform you that Circle launch is being delayed towards the end of the month, start of the year. Frustrating as it is, the team wants to launch as early as possible, but there's a few factors that are causing us to delay. The audit for the Launchpad is still under process and might take another few days to complete. People are taking profits as Christmas is just days away, and we believe this is not the right time for the launch as people are getting busy with the festive season. The Launchpad itself is ready, and behind the scenes, testing is ongoing until launch. We have 2 time frames in mind, December 27th or 3rd of January. Once again, apologize, but in the end, it only benefits us. Kind regards. So that's that. So, okay, the moral and lesson of the story. Let's look at old Twitter real quick before the moral and the lesson of the story goes. So here is their Twitter. They do have a blue check. Now this is interesting. That is really interesting. So I guess someone chime in on this. I don't know. I thought that if you had a blue check and you changed your symbol or you changed your name, you lost your blue check. But they joined December of 2016. They joined 6 years ago. So clearly, it stands to reason that you can get a blue check, but you can also change your stuff. I'm curious about that. So we don't have much here. Okay, we don't have much at all for the old project here. And we have this nice video. I don't really even know what they're talking about. Maybe if I put my headphones in, I could hear them. Oh, no, they're not saying anything. Okay. Is this their website? Yeah. I mean, I guess it is their website. This is way different. This is the yeah, this is different. Okay. That's all we got, ladies and gents. All right, let's see what Gordon Gekko said. So we read all the updates, so we were up to date on that. Let's finish it off with the what Gordon Gekko shared in his scouting report. Positives. Project owner is Super Connector, an established marketer in crypto with celebrity contacts. Launchpad is fully developed. This will be a multi-chain launchpad. Projects lined up for premium launches require Circle token for allocations. Will also allow for non-featured launches. Contract dev is Monkey Shanty. I've heard of that person. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but I've heard of him. Meng says that he's been in Circle Telegram for a while, and there's a lot of negativity in there, mainly about delays in communication. Red flags from Gordon. He says the owner's previous projects will receive Circle Token. There are 3 projects receiving airdrops. Oh, good grief! 3 projects. So it's almost like I wonder if it's almost like they're doing what Dev Team 6 did with their whole ecosystem. You know, they had 1 token, and then they had like Moonforce, and then they had like Pi and like all the stuff, and then they just said, hey, you know what, we're just gonna consolidate all into one. I wonder if that's what's happening here. Wow, 3 communities getting airdrops. That's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Comments? Private cell completed in August. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, all these projects that are doing their raises on the website. It feels very much like a private cell. Private cell was complete in August. So 5 months later, they're going to be launching. 6 months later, going to be launching. 4 to 5 months rather. Waiting for some details. This will be a direct launch since all the funds needed were raised in the private cell. Launchpad in final states of testing. Launch will be delayed to first week of January. Notes: first project to launch is lined up. I've spoken with the owner of that project. It has real world utility that is already built and active. More info will be posted as it is released. I wonder, let me go down a rabbit hole real quick. I wonder if we can find what that project is if Gordon has it on the calendar. Oh, he doesn't. Sneaky. I was hoping that he had it on the calendar. He doesn't. I was hoping to get an insight. I was hoping to get some better secret sauce. All right, so this is good stuff. I'm glad we picked that project. I'm glad that we picked that project because it goes back to what we're talking about here. What we're building here is such a awesome asset. Think about this as we move forward a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, where there's specific scouts that have continued to develop their skill sets, their networks, and I know that scouts listening right now are going to be some of those that we know that so-and-so specializes in XYZ, and we know that so-and-so specializes in that, and there's conversations happening in different threads about different projects, and like what Gordon Gecko brought here, he scouted this project because he knows the owners. He's bringing up the different concerns, but he also has done his due diligence to see, okay, there's this project that's lined up, and that project has real world utility. I mean, this session was so valuable, and I hope that it was, at least for me anyway. I'll let you guys decide. I'll let you guys decide if it was valuable for you. This session was super valuable for me. To again, every day I'm amazed at what we really have. And there's no way where my focus is that I can manage all of these different projects. There's just no way. There's just no way. And there's no way that I can keep track of all these different pre-sales and stay up to date on the AMAs and the most recent information and all that stuff. But if we all just do a little bit, and we all just report a little bit, and those different things, it's incredibly valuable for everyone, the entire ecosystem. Okay, Meng says, I would never buy in a pre-sell in this project, but with the connections, I will for sure have deck screeners loaded up at launch. Can go anyway. If up, it might rip. Absolutely. It's one of those things where I have a different perspective on all these projects because I see the back end of this stuff right here. I see all the projects that are launching. I see thousands of projects. Some look great and they do great. Some look horrible and they do great. Some look great and they don't do good, and some look horrible and they don't do good. I see it all. But what was the most important thing is when you start realizing, like I said about Gordon Gekko and Phyllis PSC 100X, when they found their secret sauce and continue to develop that, that is solid. And I would not have known about that particular project if it wasn't for Gordon Gekko. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty. And for other people, they, looking at this project right here for, Fight Out, they don't necessarily have to go through all this research. They can then just skim these notes, skim these conversations, and so much value is being developed and built out in our community. And yeah, just super, super thankful and excited to be here and, be learning with you guys. I do want to say this is the last call of the year, and what a wild ride. What a wild ride 2022 has been, and this is the end of the 2022 chapter. Next week will be the first call of the new chapter, and I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys are here contributing, that you're in Discord sharing ideas and contributing there. We've done, I believe we've done 130 sessions like this. 130 sessions. Now, in the beginning, we were doing sessions 6 days a week. It was myself, Phyllis, LDN 100X, JP, My Pony, and John A 100X. We were all taking turns, and then over time, different life events popped up for different people, and some other people moved on to other things, and then it was just Phyllis and I. There was Phyllis, John, and I. There was just myself, and it's been an awesome experience for us to start where we started back in February, doing these sessions, and here we are now. And just what a wild ride. And you watching live or whether you're watching the replay, you're a part of this. You're a part of this process and experience, and it would be different without you. It would be so different without you. I think my average time is probably around 75 minutes. You think about all these sessions and it's like, wow, like every week it's literally on average 2.5 hours we're talking and things like that. And I have plans to make the show improved and more improved and more interactive and things like that. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But again, I just want to thank you guys so much for your support of being here and engaging, and this has been super fun. It's been super fun, and just so thankful, so thankful. Luis says, very valuable session, encouraging, inspiring. Thank you, Ryan, in the community. Absolutely, thank you, Luis. Ricardo, your message got removed. Johnny says, hi before bye. You're new here, looking forward to 2023 and changing my fortune. Hey, Johnny, welcome. Glad that you're here. Johnny, are you in Discord? If not, definitely look at the link in the description and come join us in Discord. Hop in the conversations. If you have any questions, we are more than willing and glad to answer your questions, to support you any way that you can. With you being new, welcome. Glad that you're here. Ricardo says, thank you very much for your time and great sessions. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Like I said, I enjoy this, and I'm not the smartest. I don't have all the answers. I enjoy speaking and sharing and teaching. I enjoy learning from others, and I enjoy passing that on. And so I just know that we're all together. We're all better together. We're stronger together. And I couldn't do this alone. This is not this is not the Ryan show. This is our show. This is our show. This is the community show. And like I said, I have some cool plans to make this even better. And also, if you have any ideas, hit me up and shoot me a message and let me know if you have any ideas on how we can make this better and reach more people. I'm all ears all the time. All right, Johnny, you are in Discord. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Hey, glad that you're here. And also, shout out to you for saying hi and hello. I know that sometimes, it can be a little overbearing or uncomfortable to put yourself out there and say hi, hello, but glad that you're here, brother, and look forward to connecting with you. So, with that, my friends, I'll end like I always do. Life can be short. So, for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. I appreciate you guys. I care about you guys. 2022 has been a wild and fantastic ride. I want to wish you a happy New Year's, because this session right here wraps up 2022, and next Tuesday we start fresh in 2023. Have a happy New Year, and I will see you in Discord. Bye for now.